Hi, welcome back. It's Sid. This is my vidcast. And, well, today I felt like sitting in front of the camera and behind a mic. And as you could probably hear, I'm a little bit congested. I'm still trying to recover from a cold that has been bothering me for a little. Remember that weekend we went to Fan Expo? Yeah, I completely was exhausted, and that is why we're here. Consequences happen, and now we have to live with them. So welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video and deciding that you wanted to listen to me talk for a little bit. One of my friends sent me a video of them watching the first vidcast, which I posted 2 weeks ago. I thought it was a lot longer ago, but I guess it was only 2 weeks ago. And they were just watching it on their MacBook, and I was like, that's so cute. Like, I don't know what you're doing in the day, but you decided to click on the video and just play it, maybe watch it or have it in the background as audio or just noise. But I appreciate that you were watching it, so thank you. It's almost March, which is absolutely insane. We are literally in the midst of a snowstorm again. Not really a storm, but there's just snow everywhere, and it's almost March, and that doesn't really make sense to me. There's a cold front coming in, I think, for the rest of the week. It's supposed to be pretty cold in the minuses, and I know probably people in Toronto are like, losers. You think it's cold, and they're like stuck literally actually in a snowstorm still. But hey, it's usually pretty mild here, and the fact that we are getting this much snow is not okay. No. I thought we just had that little dump in December and then we would be okay, but it's fine. It's fine. So, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I just wanted to sit here and sort of update, chat. I was thinking about a lot of things, as one does. And one of the topics, I was just watching the new Wizards of Waverly Place pod, and they had Selena as a guest star on it. And I was like, oh, it's always nice when you get to kind of reunite with old people and old friends that I think that kind of shaped you and grew you, because obviously Wizards of Waverly Place was shot when they were in their teenagers, which is a quite like pivotal time for them and probably their high school experience. And for me, I think I thought about it. I don't know if this is in the span of 2 weeks that I have been doing this vidcasting, but I feel like in a couple weeks ago, I caught up with my friends who I have known since like elementary school and like high school, and just like catching up with each other. And it's always hard to make that time and find that time now that we're all like adults in the adulting world. Hi, wonderful. Love that. Sometimes. Everyone's always busy. Everyone has partners. Everyone has pets. Everyone has their own family and friends, and it just expands, and that circle gets so big that you kind of need to start to prioritize who you want to hang out with, which relationships are really benefiting you. And for me, I'm like, okay, well, I have these like really core important relationships in my life. Then I have these other friends that I want to catch up with. And then I have people that I just don't want to waste my time hanging out with because I know that they don't benefit my life. And that's like one of the hardest things to sort of navigate when you're growing up, trying to figure out who you want to spend your time with, who you value in your life. And I don't know where this tangent is going to go. Welcome to my podcast. It's just me rambling. But yeah, I think I was fortunate enough growing up to be surrounded by amazing friends that I still keep in touch with to this day. And sometimes they come and go, but then they come back and you're like, hey, like, how are you? Like, has life been treating you okay? And things like that. And sometimes you think they're disappearing just because they're changing, and like maybe you guys just don't believe in the same things anymore. You guys don't have much to communicate or have in common. But then sometimes friends come back and they were gone for a reason, because maybe they were going through a really tough time, or like you have no idea. But two things is that you always have to be kind to people because you don't know what they're going through. And that's just so important because people tend to grow impatient when they think or see that they have someone's life figured out. Like, you have literally no idea what someone else is going through. Um, and you just want to be patient because they'll come back to talk to you if they feel and they need that. And this is a really bad tangent. Um, but no, I think that happened to me this month is that a friend that I hadn't seen for a little while, they kind of they were one of the closest people in my life before, and then they kind of disappeared. I had no idea. I didn't know if it was my fault. I didn't know if it was their fault or like what had happened, but we kind of just drifted. And also the pandemic was something that was really like um interesting for most relationships. I think it either brought you closer to people or it brought you further apart, but this relationship we were kind of further apart. And a couple weeks ago they reached out and they were like, "Hey, how are you? Let's meet up. Let's hang out." And I was like, "Sure, why not? Like, I'd love to." And then we kind of talked about like what had happened in between those years, and it really truthfully, you just have no idea what people are going through, and it's always just nice to have that open heart and just empathize with people. And just for me, it's so important to be like, "Hey, like, I'm always someone here. I'm always a friend if you need that." And for anyone else too, like if you ever just need someone to talk to or like um to just be there with or like to hang out with, like, hey, I'm here. I'm willing to talk and hang out despite of course everyone's busy schedules. Again, you never know what people are going through, so be kind. That is one thing. Um oh my god, I completely forgot the second thing, but because of these dang tangents. But yeah, just always, I think it's so important because when you are with say you're in a new relationship or whatever, you want to flourish and grow that relationship, but then you kind of don't want to forget about the other ones that you have developed your whole entire life, if that's with your family or your friends, because um, they're getting old too. They're growing, they're living their life, and like everything keeps on moving. So don't forget about them. Just as much as this new thing is so important and something you want to see grow and flourish, obviously, yes, it's important, but like, hey, don't forget about these friends over here. Um, but I guess back to another thing that I was thinking about, catching up with this group of friends that I've known since elementary school and high school, is sometimes it's crazy how people have different mindsets towards everything. And like, I feel that I am a very optimistic person, and sometimes that is literally the benefit and the biggest outcome to why I feel like I'm just so grateful and positive. And um I feel like I'm just super lucky to live the life that I live, because no matter what, if something knocks you down or like something goes bad in your life, you just know that it's not going to be the end of the world. And literally, worst case scenario, yeah, end of the world. You maybe die or like something happens, but like literally 99% of the time, you probably won't get to that degree of worst case scenario. So it's always just like looking at the bigger picture of most things, and just always practicing gratitude and knowing like, hey, yeah, like sometimes you think your life is going horrible, but sometimes people talk to you and you're like, oh my God, like maybe they're going through something way worse. And I know that you shouldn't compare like how bad or like that what that scale is of like, oh, maybe this person has such a way worse life going on. Like, hey, but like I have different things. Like there's no reason to compare. I know, but sometimes it's just like, hey, you see other people or you just know that there are other people in the world that are like, um yeah, like it could be worse, but like you're living here. Like I'm so grateful to have like friends and family and the support system and like this house to live in and like flexibility to go chase my dreams and do everything. Like it's just such a privilege. And I did not expect this episode to be as like philosophical as it is right now. I'm sorry, this is just 10 minutes of me just going off on a tangent about how grateful I am about life. Woohoo. I don't know if it's that 5-minute journal that I might have mentioned last episode, but it was just me writing my journal every single day, the things that I'm grateful for. I did want to talk about what's been going on the last 2 weeks. But yeah, no, I think yeah, making time for friends, making time for family, and just it's just so important to me, and I'm so grateful that I have that like resource and capability to, because I still live in like a very um close-knit neighborhood where I do have access to all my friends that still live in this area. And it's funny because a lot of people do tell me like, "Hey, whoa, you're still friends with people that you know from elementary school, that you were like kids growing up. Like we were literally 5 and 6 years old and I knew them back then and we're still friends today." Like that's just crazy to me because again, a lot of people move, a lot of people change, people just grow apart. But for me to like have those like core relationships just means so much to me, and I'm so happy that they are in my life because again, back to like the Wizards of Waverly Place pod, Selena and like her cast, like those people are deep rooted relationships where these people know you for you, like literally they raised you, they were like your friends in like most pivotal moments of your life, like, hey, I got my first period or something. I don't know why that came up to the top of my head. um or like maybe your first school crush, or like I don't know, just like all these little things that make you you today, that are so-called traumas or so-called like I don't know, historical deep cut wounds, but like they were there for you and they know everything. It's really nice cuz like sometimes if you grow up and then I saw this TikTok recently where Michael B. Jordan was interviewed by his like high school bully, and then it was like she was just treating it like they were like best friends and buddies, and it's like what, like he obviously knows who this person is at the root of it and what type of person she was to have done certain things to him growing up. And so it's like my friends and I growing up, we know what type of people we are, and to still have those people close to you are so nice and refreshing because it's like those people you can trust. They know who you are. Um you don't have to pretend or do anything, and like say you get like a big opportunity or whatever, they're not going to treat you differently because they've seen you at your worst. They've seen you working late nights and busting and grinding because like you wanted to do this dream, and it's just so nice to like have those relationships. And I know some people maybe are moving from out of the country here to Vancouver, or like you stumble on this video and you're like, "What? I don't have those relationships." That's totally fine. I I hope you find these relationships, and it's never too late to start these relationships either, because hey, like you could be going through your worst moments right now and you meet one of your best friends that will literally ride to the end with you. Um and I don't know, this could be the start of your life right now too. Like it's all special and I'm so grateful. Anyways, enough talking about my amazing friends. And again, yeah, if you need a friend, hi, I got you. But what's been happening in life? Let me scroll through my phone because that just seems to be my ease to everything that goes on. Yeah, oh my gosh. I feel like February went by really fast. I'm here and it's like again, almost March, which is nuts, which means we are 2 months into this new year already. Um, but what happened? Okay, so again with all this nostalgia stuff, I literally used to visit my uncle after school because I would it was like he'd live with my grandma or whatever. And he had this dog who is now literally, I don't know how old. Why do I want to say like 17 years old? His dog is literally so old now that he's blind, he's probably deaf. He's literally all bones. And like maybe a couple years ago I was just like walking him along like our school park or whatever. And I love this dog because I grew up with this dog. His name's Brody. And I got to see him a spontaneous random day because I just was helping or visiting my grandma and stuff, but they don't live together anymore. A lot of time has passed. Anyways, that's not important. But I went to go visit his place and there was Brody, still alive, still moving. He was just literally bones, and I was like, What? who is this dog? Like, what? And I think that's another thing that reminded me about, like, no matter what, like, time is still moving, no matter how much you feel like you're trying to progress in life, everything else is still changing around you. And so, yeah, I'll put some photos here, but yeah, it's been crazy to see that this dog is still here. Um, and I just felt like there was still a connection with us there, even though it's been so many years. I don't know if he would remember my scent or whatever, but um, he just came up to me and gave me so much attention. I gave him so much attention. It was just the cutest thing, and it was just so nice. Um, you to pause for a second. I'm gonna put some Albert content here right now. Albert. Okay, we're back. I hope you enjoyed some random dog content. What else is happening? Let's see. Oh my god, I went on this wonderful like hike expedition sort of day with my friend Sammy. And I don't know, maybe this was the day because I got sick because we were inside, outside, in my car, in the cold. And I think we did like 4 different trails that day, which is absolutely insane. I didn't think that we would be able to do that, but somehow we did. And it didn't rain. That was the one day it didn't rain in February, and I was so happy. I did film a my life as a movie for it, and I just haven't gotten around to editing it, but I promise it'll be out soon. Um but something that really really excited me was that I got my first phone call to work with Hallmark as a still photographer, as that's my job, and I was so excited because this was like a step forward in my career, and I was so grateful that one of my friends helped me um help recommend me, help get my name out there, and I was just so happy because obviously any sort of lead in this industry or kind word or reference or luck and timing, sometimes they come around and you're like, ah, but yeah, no, I was super grateful. So I got to do a show recently, and I had a lot of fun, met some great people. Hopefully that continues. And yeah, I was super happy. Fan Expo happened. I obviously made a vlog. You can go watch that if you want. I don't know how many cute things we saw that day, but you can go count and see. Maddie and I always go every year. And of course, the Fan Expo invites us, and it's always so much fun. I just love screaming. And again, it was all in the same week that I was going on this hike and working. And yeah, Fan Expo, losing my throat, losing my voice. And yeah, we got to see a bunch of panels, had a lot of fun, and then I went the next day with my mom and we got deep fried Oreos. If you know me, I love deep fried Oreos. Those are literally life-changing desserts. Oh my god, speaking of life-changing, the other night Maddie and I went to go see Jonathan Van Ness for Just for Laughs. And before then, because the show was at like 9:30, oh my god, we went for Hello Nori. And that was the first time I ever went. And let me tell you, that food was life changing. Yes, Vancouver has like, I guess, is known for great sushi all around, but like I also had my like fair share of sushi. Love sushi, but Hello Nori. This is not sponsored in any way either. Hello Nori changed my life of like what sushi rolls could ever be. Like they made the rolls in front of you, and then they like serve it to you on a little plate. You're all kind of sitting in like this rectangle shape, kind of like a sushi bar basically. And I didn't know what to order. So of course I'm going to order salmon, I'm going to order scallop, my typical go-to sushi rolls. I ordered 4 rolls, I think. The first roll I took a bite, and the crispy crunchy seaweed literally shook my soul. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Maddie was just sitting beside me looking at me as I eat this sushi, and I'm just like speechless. All I had to say was like, wow. Like, I I don't know if you've ever been to Hello Nori. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you live in Vancouver, there's one on Robson Street. They only have a certain amount of tables or seats because it's a bar. And so usually it's lined up, but luckily when we went, there was 2 seats at the end of the bar available. We went, it was snowing that night, absolutely horrible. We ended up getting there after braving the storm, and it was worth it. It is a little bit pricey because, of course, the experience, the service that they're giving you, um, the food quality. I They had king salmon, which is apparently just like super high end salmon, and I went for sushi again yesterday for dinner. It's not the same. But Hello Nori, I cannot wait because their opening went up in Brentwood, which is in Burnaby. I cannot wait for that to open and for me to go and just invite any of my friends that have not been, or even my family, and hopefully change their lives too, because it was life changing. And every single time, I don't even know if I liked the scallop more, if the salmon more. I had the crab. The crab was a little bit mushy with the rice because the textures are kind of similar. I don't know, sushi connoisseurs are probably like offended right now, and I'm sorry that I said that, but like the crab didn't hit it for me as much as the scallop and salmon did. Someone told me that I needed to try the truffle lobster. We're going bougie here, but yeah, Hello Nori, I went, changed my life, and then we walked and headed over to go see Jonathan Van Ness. And if you know Jonathan Van Ness, they are from Queer Eye. Um and yeah, it was, I wasn't expecting it to be as hilarious as it was, though I do have high standards because Jonathan is absolutely hilarious and is just such a personality. But they were talking about pumpkins for like, what, I don't know, like half an hour, and I was so engaged. I was laughing my butt off. This was the Just for Laughs Vancouver um event that's happening around the city right now. There's other comedians, like Jack Whitehall was that same night too. The Office Ladies too had a show the night before, and it was just such a great time. Like I think it was like an hour and a half set. I don't know, but it was such a great time. And if Jonathan ever comes and tours again, I will definitely go. Comedy a lot of the time is very, I think a lot of people use like sex jokes as like comedy and stuff, and that's not really like my type of humor. And Jonathan's out here just not really like a lot of like those types of jokes, and somehow they made such a hilarious show. I was so appreciative of it. Um and yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I literally have no words because comedy, you can't really talk about it too much either because obviously their jokes are their jokes. Um, and usually they like uh, represent them, replay them for various audiences. Um, but yes, that was really fun. What else has been going on? Oh, that same night there was also a photo booth at Oak and Fort because they were doing a grand opening. And you know me, I love my photo booths. I've been trying to convince my friends to go like to these bars that have old like vintage photo booths, but just haven't gotten around to it because everyone's too busy. And welcome back to the crisis talk about friends and everyone being busy in their own adult lives. But just trying to find time to hang out and do all of that is always funny because we always try to coordinate it, and then we just have all the group chats of like all these polls of like who could come on this day and this day. Um Yeah, so yeah, again, back to the snow. We had a snow day yesterday. My brother and I woke up and we went sledding together. And then Albert, we got to play with him in the snow, and Albert loves the snow. Like, it's absolutely crazy. He will just like, okay, so we were just playing fetch with him with like a snowball, throw it, and he just like pounces his face into the snow. It's absolutely adorable. Um, and then one of our other friendo dogs, Lucky, came And I'm obsessed with Lucky. Lucky's like the littlest, cutest dog. And Albert and Lucky somehow get along. I don't know how or why. Because another time Albert went and met another one of our friend doggos and almost bit his face off. It was scary. Yeah. Anywho, what else has been happening? What else is to come? March, I'm going to be so stacked. I am on a feature which I'm very excited. I don't know how much I can say about it, but I am so happy to be back working, doing stuff like that. And also, what else? Drive to Survive just came out on Netflix. I've been binging that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have no other words to share. I hope you have been having a wonderful month. Again, maybe someday I might do a more like in-depth podcast and talk about, I don't know, maybe more about relationships. I love relationships. Relationships are fun. We got friends, we got family, we got loved ones. What else we have? Fitness. Been trying to get my fitness back up because I had to take a whole week off because my whole sickness vibes. Ugh. Anyways, March means Taylor Swift. We gonna see Taylor in Las Vegas, which is absolutely insane. First time in Vegas. Have not been ever. No reason to go to Vegas for me just because I don't drink or do anything. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this little video of me ranting, talking, since vidcast. All me and my emotions. As easy as that. Turn on my camera, sit behind a microphone, talk about anything that I want. And whoever wants to listen, go off, listen to it. Tell me what your favorite thing has been this month. And also, y'all, give me restaurant recommendations. I'm always looking for new places to go. And this year is all about saying yes to more things and just trying new things, because what better time to do that than the present? Let's do it. I will see you all in the next vidcast. Whenever I feel like sitting in front of the camera, behind the microphone, I will be back to talk. Until then, I will see you all next time. Bye.